Am I the asshole? For telling a group of teachers they need to control a group of kids including my son better? My 5th grade since is part of an after-school program. Basically he stays on the yard and plays with his friends and does activities. It's like an after-school camp. I work by his school and took a late 3 p.m. lunch today. I went to the grocery store and was befuddled by all these kids running rampant. I realized they were from my son's school. Then I saw this short blonde-hair kid who looked like my son chasing this kid who looked like his best friend with a bag of sugar and weaving between people. As he got closer I realized this was my son. As he ran past me, I pulled him into me and told him to calm down. He realized it was me and asked why I was there. I said I was on lunch and why is he there? He said his teachers took the after-school camp to the store to buy snacks. He asked me to let him go and I said no. I told him he knows how to act in a store and as his dad, his behavior embarrassed me. I took him to one of the teachers and asked if he belonged to him. He said yes, to him and another teacher. He asked what was wrong and if I could let him go. I said he and other kids are running around the store like a playground and you and Mrs. Daniel should be watching them better. Oh, and I'm his dad. Mrs. Daniel came over and asked what was wrong. I told her what I told the other teacher. She said I knew you looked familiar and laughed. I said this isn't funny. You better handle my son's behavior or I will and no one will like it. The guy teacher said please don't talk down to us like that. I said then please do your job. You better handle my son's behavior or I will and no one will like it. How would you have handled it and why wouldn't they have liked it? Going you're the asshole for making sheet is no way they would have taken a bunch of kids to a store without written permission from every parent. And no one does field trips for after-school care because parents pick up at all different times. This is so fake it's gross. You replied that you didn't give permission for your child to go off campus and your concern is that he embarrassed you, not his safety. And you openly threatened a staff member and your child is still in the after-school program. If this isn't fake you're the asshole you know that and take pride in it so why do you need to ask? Sounds like you're threatening to abuse your son. You're the asshole. You'd better handle my son's behavior or I will no one will like it. Yeah, how are you not TA based on that statement alone? Going with an ESH here. The teachers shouldn't be bringing a big group of students to a store if they are known to behave like this. Sounds like too many kids to not enough adults. But I've been on their side of it as a youth coach 6-8-yo. Parents complaining that practices are too unruly and the kids are too disruptive. They're kids. While they sit on the sideline and watch it happen. Yep, I would react the same if not more harsh. Not the asshole. Edit after reading some comments I have to say there are a lot of people who don't know how children work. An unsupervised class will go on rampage in a grocery store. And even the best behaved will take part. That is how things are. Like it or not. That has nothing to do with doing a good or bad job as a parent. If you want to give a lecture to the person responsible for your kid's terrible behavior in the store, find a mirror and really give yourself the business. But you can lay off the teachers. The fact that your child behaves like this when he's not with you is still a commentary on you as a parent. My parents were able to trust me to behave completely unsupervised in stores by that age, but that's because they did their job right. Time to reconsider your parenting methods because clearly they aren't working if your son only knows how to behave when he's being watched by someone he fears. You're the asshole. Oh, you are TA. Maybe if you have such high standards, maybe you should watch your kid so it goes your way. My guess is your kid loves his afternoons. I love posts like this where there's clearly no moral dilemma for op. No part of your post asks if you were the because you don't think you're wrong, so why are you here? For us to pat you and tell you what an awesome parent you are? You berated teachers for failing what you couldn't even do. You clearly can't parent your own child who sounds like a menace. You're the asshole. It's god-awful parents like you who make the lives of teachers exponentially more difficult. Little Johnny would never act like that with me, okay buddy? It does sound like they weren't supervising as well as they should be, but your threat at the end was probably not the best response. It would be preferable to express your concerns politely in the moment and then make an appointment to talk to the teachers at a later time when no children are present and talk more fully about what you saw in the store and why it is unacceptable to you and your spouse. You're the asshole. Have you considered disciplining your child? Actually teaching them how to behave when you're not there? I was a teacher for 2 years, and if a parent needed to discipline their child, I gave them free rein. I wasn't gonna feel guilty or bad by a parent parenting. So instead threatening them, with the whole handle it or I will and you won't like it. How about you? I don't know. Handle it. I had enough on my plate just keeping my classroom from descending into chaos. Parents like you are why I quit. Fake. A school won't just decide to take kids to a grocery store without written permission from all parents' guardians. You better handle my son's behavior or I will and no one will like it. If it is real, you are threatening abuse. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. How can you criticize those teachers' work when you couldn't even teach your kid to behave in a store in the first place? I helped supervise during plenty of field trips when my kids were little. Those teachers should have discussed the importance of good behavior before they went inside. I once saw an unruly child tear through a grocery store and slam into an elderly woman struggling to walk with 2 canes. Made up. No after-school program is taking kids to a store without a permission slip, and not at the end of the day when parents are picking up. So lame to make shit like this up. If I was the store manager, I would have been pissed having all these kids running wild in the store. If one kid had a bag of sugar, chasing another kid, they've gone way past buying snacks. Yeah, kids are terrors. Kids are giant assholes in groups of their peers with no parents around. But seriously, using a fucking shop as a playground? That's the worst part of the whole story. You better handle my son's behavior or I will and no one will like it. So you threatened your child in front of his teacher and think you're the one with the moral high ground? You're the asshole 1000. Work in a school. It's not up to us to teach them to be little humans, that's your job. We do reading, writing and arithmetic. If you are embarrassed by your kid's behavior, you sort it out, thank you. 'Cause whenever we try, you're the parent threatening to get us fired because we bullied your precious by sitting them on the naughty chair. You're the asshole. Oh, I bet you're so much fun to live with. ESH. You need to teach your child that he needs to be respectful and follow the rules even when you're not around. If he's misbehaving, when you're not present, that's a reflection of your parenting. As for the teachers, they are wrong for letting the kids run around a grocery store. One of them could have gotten hurt and the school would have been liable. If there weren't enough of them to supervise, they shouldn't have taken them to the store. You need to discuss your concerns with their supervisors. You're the asshole. Whose job is it to raise your kid, the teacher or the parent? You don't dump your kid in school to learn how to be a decent human. They go to school to learn basic subjects and educational skills. Parents love to dump the job of a parent on everyone else. Not to mention talk shit on teachers and then expect them to handle everything. Teach your kid to be better, don't blame the teacher for the actions you failed to prevent. You're the asshole. You can't instill better behavior in your child, so you expect others to do it for you? Not running around in a grocery store is common sense your child should have known beforehand. Do you not discipline at home and instead expect others to pick up your slack? These teachers have a group of kids that are a handful, your son included, and instead of being embarrassed you decide they need to learn a lesson? I know they do not get paid enough. You're the asshole. If your son's feral, it's not his teacher's responsibility to house train him. I'd say SH. The teachers were way out of line. A store isn't a playground. On the other hand, the way OP handles his son is also very so I can't let him off the hook either.